Good morning. My name is Miss Flegg, and I will be teaching a memorization strategy to my second grade classroom. For prior knowledge, since we're going to be working with vocab, I want the students to be able to recall their memory about short-term and long-term. I'm going to discuss that a little bit in the beginning so they remember what we talked about last week. And then just our brief talking about how visual representations when learning words is great. So when you're taking your vocab test, you can visualize what picture you associate with the word, and it helps you remember what the meaning is of that word. All right, so good morning, class. Today we are going to work with 5 vocabulary words, and we're going to get visual representations of these words so you guys can remember the meanings. Now, first of all, I want to talk about short-term and long-term memory. Does anybody remember what short-term memory is? All right, so your classmates came up with some ideas. Short-term memory is what you're currently thinking about. So, for example, it would be where I parked my car this morning, or for you guys, it's what did you do right when you got out of bed? What did you eat for breakfast? What did your mom say before you left? It's just something that stays in your mind that happened recently. Now, does anybody know the definition of long-term memory? Yes, you guys are so smart. Long-term memory is storage of information from an extended period of time. So for me, it would be remembering what my high school graduation was like. And for you guys, it might be your first birthday or your first day at school. It's just something that hasn't recently happened, and it's been there for a long period of time. All right, so I have provided you guys with a vocabulary list. I printed them out, and I'll hand them to you out right now. So I also wrote on the board each one of these words. There's going to be 5 of them, and I put spaces between them because we're going to eventually draw pictures. So here's what the vocab list looks like. And I'm going to go through all 5 of them, and I want you to write them down and also say them along with me. So boat, exercise, community, earth, and beach. All right, okay. So now what we're gonna do is we are gonna go through each one of these words and we're gonna draw a picture on the board. So we're gonna go over number 1. Can anybody tell me what number 1 is? Boat, good job. So what I want you guys to do before I draw on the board, I want each one of you to talk with your learning partner and come up with one picture that you're going to draw that represents this word. I'll give you about a minute or so. All right, so now that you guys have talked to each other, can someone raise their hand and tell me and show me what they drew so we can come up with a class one? All right, so this is what it looks like. I'm not a very good artist. Some of you guys are way better than I am, but I drew a little sailboat. So whenever I am taking a vocab test and boat comes along, I'm going to think of that visual representation and I'm going to go, oh, boat means something, a sailboat. So I associate those two together. All right, can anyone tell me what number 2 is on the list? Exercise. Yes, good job. So now you're going to do the same thing, turn to your learning partner, and I want you guys to talk and think of one picture that represents the word exercise. All right. Now that you guys have talked to your learning partners, can 3 people raise their hand and tell me what they came up with for exercise? Jump roping, yes. Running. Oh, swimming. I like that. I never actually thought about that. So what I drew for exercise is somebody lifting dumbbells. Again, it's not very good representation, but I'm not an artist. So as a class, we came up with somebody lifting the dumbbells. Now, can anyone tell me what number 3 is? Community, yes, good job. Okay, so let's repeat the steps again for community. Oh, that one was pretty easy. Yeah, okay. So you guys came up with houses because, we all live in some type of a community. So we drew 2 houses on the board to represent the word community. Now, for the last 2, we're going to kind of speed it along a little bit. Can someone tell me what the last 2 words are? Yes, earth and beach. Good job. You guys are so smart. So if you give you like a minute or so, and we're going to draw a picture for each of those words. All right, you guys think those are pretty easy? Yeah. So as a class, we decided that we're going to draw the actual earth, and then for a beach, we drew the water, the sand, sun, and some palm trees. So then I'm hoping that when you guys are taking your vocab test, that you refer to each one of these vocab words, and then you think about those pictures that you drew on this piece of paper. And this is kind of like a little study guide that you can use to study the meaning of these words. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take each one of these 5 words and we're going to put it into a sentence. This is also going to help you memorize the meaning of the words. So for number 1, let's come up with a sentence for boat. All right, now that you had some time to talk to your learning partner, let's come up with some sentences for each one of these words. All right, so talk to your learning partner and make sure that you guys have written down each one of these sentences, because we're kind of going to do them all at once. I'll give you about a minute to make sure you guys have them all written down. All right, so it looks like we have all the sentences and we wrote them up all on the board. You guys did a very, very good job of thinking about what the meaning of the word is and using it in a sentence. So let's read them together, starting with the first one. The boat sails the ocean. I like to run to get exercise. We all live in a community. Earth is a planet where we all live. Beaches have sand and we love to make sandcastles. Wow, you guys did a really good job of remembering what the meaning was and using it in a sentence. So to close this lesson, I want you guys to turn to your learning partner, and I want you guys to, each one of you, one at a time, go down the list of the 5 words and tell each other what the definition of each word is. And once you have done that, you guys are free to go to recess. Great job, guys.